her account.
Oh, okay.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Studio Central Facebook Live art demonstration. We're here at Upbeat Artworks as per usual. So for those who don't know, Studio Central and Upbeat are both part of Artbeat Studio, which is a nonprofit organization that believes in the healing power of art and using art as a tool to work on mental wellness. So we're here for one of our art demos. And we have Kate leading us again this week. So I will turn the camera around so you can see everyone and then let them introduce themselves.
Hello everybody, we're just starting. Abby's here and Megan is here, and we are going to talk a little bit about one of our loved artists that is not here at the moment, but we appreciate artists' work, and we will show a little bit of what is produced by this artist.
So Sandy Rubenfeld, born in Winnipeg in 1957, she was always drawn to art. She experienced wonder and delight at the works of such artists as Matisse and Klee. Her formal art studies spanned the breadth of Canada at the Nova Scotia College of Art and Design in the late 1970s, glass blowing at Sheridan College of Crafts and Design in Mississauga in the mid-1980s, and folk dancing on Salt Spring Island along the way. Her interest in the varied branches of the arts was equally broad, for when she returned to Winnipeg, she studied web and multimedia design, calligraphy, oriental brush painting, and fused/slumped glass techniques.
That's amazing.
Sounds like really neat things to learn.
So what we have here are the beautiful scarves made by Sandy, and also we have projects that are happening at Studio Central from time to time. They require registration, and we have looms that are for people who want to create their own scarves or other pieces of art. So these are the two scarves that we have here. This is called an art scarf, and it's quite long, it's very long. And this one is called a Byzantine scarf.
I'm gonna pass them here and I'll show the detail. Yeah, they're quite beautifully woven.
Those colors are amazing.
Yeah, there's so much like color just hidden and all blended together. I don't know much about
If someone
weaving.
gets interested in art making, you can contact Studio Central about registration times. It does not happen all year. It happens when it is possible. But also if someone is interested in buying these scarves, we have them at Upbeat store, and also they are now online website. So if you look for scarves, you can find them on our website for purchase. So we're moving to what we're making today, and I thought it's a good idea to make a break from paintings that are on a bigger scale, and I do like working on a smaller scale sometimes. And it's good to change size of what you're doing from time to time, but it was just, I do not say it's my patience, but when you start working with paint markers, you want to go in a smaller scale and see what you can do with that, because bigger scale can be really demanding from the point of view of time and how much effort it might take to accomplish a piece. So this was the elephant piece. These were thicker paint markers, but it took forever. So I think that experience just got to me and I went to a very small scale. So these are the jewelry bases that are available. I'm not sure if they're available online right now, because I did not check, but here is the basic idea. The base by itself. The base by itself is looking like this, and it has a glass piece that goes on.
Yes. I think they're like they call them cabochons. Is that what it's what it's called?
It's a cabochon, but I'm not sure the pronunciation is right. I was always reading it like, oh, whatever I read it, the way I read it, I don't know if it's correct.
Right? Yeah, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
I don't know. So some jewelry bases have glass on them, and they can be different sizes. So what I did, I basically pre-painted some of them so it would be easier, because if we start painting, that would never end. So some of them, okay.
That's the one I have my eye on.
I love that yellow.
So these were several layers of acrylic paint, and it took several days to prepare them for me, because it's not like in a row that I do it. And I come back home, put a layer, and then I leave it, and then the next day I come back home and make another layer, and then it's good to go. So this is something that we have. I do not say it's absolutely even. I did not make it absolutely even. So I just show what I have so far. So you have a good, like you can look whichever you like the most. Some of them have a smaller paint base, so the bottom can be a little bit see-through. So here, these are the ones I do not use today. So the options for attaching the glass could be different. One of the options is Mod Podge, which we're not using today, because Mod Podge is good and it holds, but it doesn't hold as well as resin. So we're going to use resin today, and it's on the other table, the setup and everything. I'll be doing it there, so we won't mix resin right away. And then I have parchment paper we could put underneath afterwards.
But if resin is a little intimidating, Mod Podge is available, it's accessible.
Yeah, you can get it
Get
as
scared
your
of resin.
friendly Dollarama.
So we're not doing any torch, anything, because torch is done when the surface is open. We cannot really get inside with a torch, and it's a very thin layer, so it doesn't even make sense because the bubbles are not there.
Yeah.
And we would use brushes to apply the resin. And even if it's not completely cured, it would not bug you because it's inside, right?
Okay, so
So
slightly
we'll
less
give
pressure.
it like, let's say, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks even to make sure, and then it's absolutely good to wear. There are other kinds of bases that do not have glass on them. So this one, if we make something, we would apply resin, but this way we would need to wait until it completely cures. So here we could.
The resin will be the cover on
It's
it.
not something we're doing today. I just wanted to show an example that this base is open and doesn't have any glass on it. Okay. We have Posca markers, which are always fun. And they're all opened.
We shipped them a long time before this.
So this is your stash from my daughter. She made it some time ago.
That's so smart.
Yeah. So I just keep all the unneeded packages here. Then Mod Podge, we're not using the Mod Podge. This is my tag. Just put it here. So choose yours.
Maybe, are we allowed to paint one as well, or?
Well, it would take, drying time can take a long time because it's a thick layer, plus it should be more than one layer, because one layer kind of tips in and you kind of want to add more.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Me and making decisions don't go together.
I know, that's...
The light is
So
like
whatever you want to choose.
Oh, goodness. They're cute.
And then consider that if you take it, you can buy Cords. Sometimes Dollarama has cords. Not chains, but cords.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you go to Michael's, they have chains, but they're a little bit more
Pricey?
they are.
Yeah.
Pricey.
Yeah, I've been to dollar stores before where they do have jewelry stuff, but it's very rare. And I've been trying to find one in Winnipeg and I haven't yet.
So if someone wants to buy a chain, I have some chains, or you can go online and check online. Okay, so you choose one?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm thinking still. Maybe this guy. Maybe this guy. Okay, let's go with this one.
You know, would you mind if I be a rebel and try to paint one, and then we'll just see how long it takes to dry? And if I don't finish it, that's okay?
Well, for that we need to bring paints. I don't have a
Oh, I can't use these?
Oh no,
okay.
it would be not.
Okay,
the right
sorry.
way.
I didn't realize.
Do you want to trade?
No, I'm good. I had an idea in my head of something to do, and that's okay.
All right, so I just want to put that everything that we're not using right now, so it does not go in the way. So I'm just going to. Can you please package it? I'll bring some. Okay. So this is for the glass or plastic or whatever it is. It looks like a glass, and I believe it's glass, but it might not be the same kind of glass. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we're going to clean the glass part with just Windex and paper towel.
That works. So now you've given me the inspiration to go home and like make a bazillion of these.
Good.
Oh, this one's pretty too. See, that's the problem. When you give me choices, I can't make
I know
them.
you give us too many
Like,
options.
they're all so pretty.
Okay, so when we have this glass piece, what I do, I just put it, like clean it with a towel and just leave it on it. So we don't touch it as much. So I will keep it somewhere on the side. So it doesn't go away. So just take a piece,
Side between these
just put gloss on it. Maybe it's a lot. And then I just wipe it and keep it there. I don't know, it's the simplest. And then I can bring it here and just
Pristine.
That's smart.
so that's the glass, that's the Windex.
Here, I'll trade you. There you go. Thank you.
Okay, so what's that? So let's put the glass and then I just put it in. There.
See the process.
Right? They're so
I love it.
so clear and perfect.
I had to get Ollie's help to pick which one I was going to do because I loved them all so much. I'm like, I love the silver. I love the, like, you made it easier because, like, I love the yellow too. I'm like, okay, I love the yellow. I love the silver. I love this one. I love this. I love this. Okay. Okay, well, I don't have to choose it.
That's what I was looking at if I didn't do mine. I was like,
That's fantastic.
perfect.
So I don't know, whatever we're doing, it could be dots, it could be something. Dots are usually very the simplest way we could go with, but it could be a word, it could be anything. So I leave it open for you, whatever your imagination brings you to.
Personally, I don't have the penmanship to write a word on this little tiny thing.
So I really like
There are people that have that.
pink, so I would use pink. So I already started.
Look at you go. I'm actually going to go and look at my phone because I think I'm going to do an evil eye.
Ooh.
But I just want to make sure I get the color and lines correctly.
know what to do with me. Oh.
And when it's pre-painted, it's a little bit easier for some because it's already looking like something, so you can just add.
And if you don't know where to start, you can just like, what I'm doing is just going for it, and then sometimes you'll find you'll do something will come to you naturally.
However, did I not remember this? It's quite simple. Actually, where am I going to start?
Okay. So which color do you want to? I definitely want to add this green.
It gets quiet as we all focus.
Yeah.
The silence takes over.
And then the paint markers, again, they can be tricky and not all paint markers are the same size. So I got the extra fine tip and I would not work with a bigger size with the...
No, they start getting clumsy a little bit.
Oh my goodness, it looks cute already. Oh. So I think I could use black maybe. I don't know. Should I be bold enough to use black for this? I don't know. Or maybe it can be a silhouette or I'm thinking.
I have a tendency to, when I'm working on stuff, I'll just steal everything and I won't put it back.
Hoard it like a dragon.
Feel free to take anything from me as long as it's not in my hand, in which case, please ask first.
And it's like, well, but I probably still will give it to you.
I'll give it to you, but you know, I'd like to be sure I'm not using it.
Exactly.
I'm not sure what I'm doing right now. Just sitting and doing nothing.
I'm trying so hard to make a circle. Close.
I'm trying to make mine look like a little cake, but whoever the baker is of this cake is maybe not the most, like maybe a little clumsy as a baker.
It's a kid's bake.
It's a tiny cake. It's fine.
There you go.
Right.
It could be a word, but the word would be. No idea.
And you also, part of art is knowing when to stop too.
Yeah, I kind of went
That's
past
true.
that point, and I had to make an adaptation because of a little slip of my hand.
I
so.
like that, an adaptation.
Yes. Well, I've said it here before. I don't make mistakes on the adaptations.
haven't bit off more than I can chew with freehand circles. So we're trying. We're trying our bestest.
It's looking pretty good, if you ask me.
How big of a circle are you trying to make?
Oh, it is a little guy.
You could use maybe like the edge of something to go around it.
That's fair.
Not too sure. Oh, you're going inside. I don't know, I saw somebody with this, like, it was like a stencil with circles, squares, hearts, and they were all different sizes. And I was like, okay, this is really cool. It was like one thing, and it was also a straight edge too. So it was like
everything.
It was everything. It was amazing. And I think they used it to make like a little planner, like a date planner.
So we'll just keep it abstract. I think it looks fun. I think when people start adding something of their own, it's like it might not connect too well, but this pattern might be fun. I just want to go around with some, I know it's silver that I put there, but I might add, I don't know.
This is such delicate work.
Mm-hmm. You want to use that yellow again?
Yep.
Thank you. And it's important to pay attention to how big of a marker you're using, because I personally just kind of filled in a lot of the colors and it looks a little funky now, so I'm just kind of filling it in entirely for that reason.
So it could be something like that.
Just redo it.
So this is just a,
I can bring it closer too. It's got lots of color on it now. Yeah, once you have the base, it's a lot faster to paint it with paint markers.
all right. So I think we could, how much time do we need?
I need a couple more minutes because I adapted a little much.
Okay.
It's very calming to focus, but it's also very stressful because I have shaky hands.
Yeah, I am shaking like mad over here.
I think that's how I overshot on this a little.
To be careful with those details.
I overdid, so I have to redo it all. I made a mistake. My adaptation. It's fine.
It's all right.
And then when that dries a little bit, I'm going to use the black on there again.
Okay, so let's, So that could be something very simple. I just need black for that, so I'll wait for
Okay, 1 second.
maybe. Thank you. So I could just.
It's like a Turkish eye with a grin.
Oh, it's like
I love it.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
the grin is like a Cheshire grin. Oh, I love that.
It's also scary at the same
Right?
time. It can be something very simple, but this way we could just keep it simple.
So,
Or we
so
could
Kate,
add more decorations on.
Kate,
around
for me it
it.
is possible to write on one of these tiny little necklaces.
So what I would do here, I would add more like darker colors around it. Do not just keep it silver. So I would just add some. Just random something.
Oh, love, how cute.
The nice thing with paint markers is that if you make a mistake, you can layer on top of it.
You just cover that stuff up.
That's what I'm doing. Slowly but surely.
I love media where you can just cover up all the mistakes.
That's why I love acrylic paint.
Exactly, there we go.
Because you just layer that on.
And then if, as an example, you think that the word does not stand out as well, I could create an outline which could be any color. It could be white, it could be
To make it pop.
yellow. So yellow is available, so I'll use yellow. Not because I don't want to, do not want to use white, but because it's an option, so I don't have to. Okay, I need that rock. So usually if a paint marker gets, we don't want it to get clogged, or when it goes on top of other paint marker,
It gets
and we
gunky.
try and mix it, it's not a good thing. So I wait until it dries completely. So I just, to clean the paint marker takes some time. So
Is the black one on this right now?
It is.
it's right here. So I'll use the. So I want absolutely clean color. And then I would need to add more.
Are you blowing on it?
I am. So it looks like I ended up painting one anyway.
I will walk around with canvases going like this.
Yeah.
sometimes.
I'm liking the texture of it though. I don't know, it's kind of...
So it could be one layer, or to make it really bright, it would be more than one layer. So I would need to add
more black there, I guess.
more black.
There you go.
Thank you. Or I could do it like with purple.
Oh yeah.
So I could just go over with purple.
That's cute.
Can I do one more?
Yep.
This is very
This is
fun.
so
Do it.
so
Yeah.
fun.
Yes. Yep. And then I could add my favorite blue.
Oh, is this not coming off this guy?
Maybe. Do you have nails?
I do, sort of. Come on, buddy. Oh, and it came right off.
I'm trying to make it look like little candles, but it's so tiny.
So hard.
It's so hard. I gotta like constantly read.
is so cute.
So it was painted with silver, and then we used different colors, and that's what we're getting.
Oh yeah, you can.
Okay, I'm gonna like wear this every day. And
Oh, that looks beautiful.
Okay.
That looks really neat.
Cool. All right. So we'll wait for Abby. So I will be opening the resin. Yes. I will be doing something else there. Oh, we need to clean more glass. So I'll. Here. So you can clean the glass that you got for the necklace.
Oh
right
yeah,
here. And then I am going to do something here.
Yes. Oh. I'm getting too into the painting.
All right. So here we have the bases with the parchment paper.
This reminds me of something, kind of like a toy set, you know. I love it. It's adorable.
I have the brushes. Okay. So I do not have resin smaller bottles right now. So I have no choice as to bring them.
Okay.
I'm just going to. Oh.
I'm gonna come over here and take a peek at some of the necklaces we have so far.
The little thing, that is so cute. It looks like a photo. Like, oh my goodness.
Thank you. Some of the process.
Pretty. Oh, the prettiest.
Yes. And we'll come back over here to Kate.
And that's what happens when you Oh my. So we have the resin that is, this is broken. It broke on the way to my place.
Oh no.
So we have, actually have something that is not as perfect right here. So I can open, and you see there is a second protective. Oh, I may have a.
The big tool? Yes, absolutely. How big of a piece that?
Yeah, that's good. Thanks. So I'm just opening it. So this one is easy to open because it's resin. The hardener has its own mind, and so, but I could open it. Oh, I was actually because sometimes it's really takes.
Yeah, but if you're super strong like Kate, it's no problem.
Okay, so I will just need to. Here, I got the cups, and I do not really have a mixing wooden stick. Do we have craft sticks there? Because I brought the spoon, but it's not the best solution. And I ran out of, I did not order Chinese food lately, because that's where I get my sticks.
Oh, that's perfect. You know, I'll run across to Studio Central.
That's okay, have a spoon. I have a spoon here, it's not perfect, but it works.
You know, I can run across it.
That's okay, I'll use this.
Okay.
I'll use this.
I love going and visiting them.
Here, I just got a plastic spoon.
Yeah.
With a thicker layer, I would go for a wooden stick.
You can also use the other
layer,
side of the spoon. I sometimes do that.
It's okay. So I want to make sure there is nothing in the cup, but there is something in the cup. It's my cat's hair. And it gets everywhere, even if I cover it.
Yeah.
still there.
Cats are funny that
I'll
way.
just take here. I take this one, and this one has here too. And this one. Good. These have no hair.
Cat-free cups.
Yeah. And he doesn't even get there, it just goes all over.
Yeah.
So I have to cover every single thing I resin because even I resin something 2 days, it's almost cured, so I take the hair off and then it comes.
Yeah.
And then the hair is stuck on the top because it's still sticky.
Yeah.
And just dig in it. Okay, so this is the tabletop epoxy, which is exact part measurement. It's measure equal parts A and B, and it's tabletop epoxy, so it can be good for art as well. So we do not need too much, but usually why do I do this with my fingers? Because if the bottle has a lot of it, it would start sticking and it would keep it. The resin does not cure by itself without the hardener, and I do not apply any hardener here because if it's being stuck, I would not be able to open it. So here, this is what I have. It's better to be on the glove than on the bottle.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I have the other bottle right here, and I'm trying to make it equal. And it's hard to say sometimes, but need the light. It's a little bit more, no? Okay, I'll go with what I have.
She's being a mad
It's a
scientist.
little more of the,
Something that I do
because I have some on my,
is if you have toothpicks, I like to stick them into my foam cups, and so that I can see on the outside, so that it'll go through on the inside, so you know exactly where to cut it off.
mm-hmm.
You just line it up on each one.
I have more of this, which is a hardener, but if I start putting this, it's very thick.
Yeah.
So if I add more of the hardener, I can just go with it. I also compare the bottles. So if the bottles are this, I have a little tiny bit more. But in this case, I could either start adding and make a huge amount of resin, which I don't need, or I could just, this part will not work on something that is not, like, I mean, it works on resin by itself, so it should be all right, because if this is less than needed or not mixed properly, it would be a bigger problem. So I would just, whatever is more liquid also, we have something left in the cup, so that would even it up a little bit more.
I've never seen this before, so it's very interesting. Yeah.
And then what would you would just mix, and the recommendation for most resins is at least 3 minutes. And if it's a bigger container, it's 5 minutes or more, because it's like, I mean, you need to know how to mix too.
Unless you're using a fast cure, which those ones harden in 5 minutes. So if you mix more than about 30 seconds, you're gonna have a little bit of a problem. But those are very different. So just make sure you know what kind of resin you got. You keep checking on you.
I'm like, do I need to do more?
That doesn't look like a photo. That's so cute.
Okay, does anyone know the time? Because I do not
Oh,
know.
it is 1:41.
Okay, so let's give it 2 more minutes. this portion is not as big, but I want resin to be well mixed with the hardener because otherwise it does not cure. It does not work where it does not go. This needs to be mixed really well. And then while I'm doing it, do you want to take parchment paper and put it on that table, a little piece for each person?
Where's the parchment paper gone?
It's right here. Because I don't want to...
Here, we'll clean up the area.
So let's make like small pieces and put underneath of what we're doing.
Just taking them one at a time because I wanted the blues to be beside each other. I want these to be beside each other.
We're kind of just their own.
They can do
Pink and
whatever.
purple kind of belong
It's
together.
Yeah, and the white
143.
and black.
It's 143 now.
Okay, good. So please do not touch the cup.
Okay.
And we have other cups here. So I will just make it into a... I will just pour it in three more different cups.
Okay. Serving it up.
So we do not need too much, right?
Yeah.
We need a tiny amount. It's just that I got more than I needed because it's really hard to pour out of this container, right? So here we have 4 portions.
Okay.
So it's okay. So we need 4 little pieces for each.
Go back over.
So this is 1. And be very careful to not touch it. Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you find your parchment paper is rolling up too much, folding it and then just sort of putting it back helps. Oh, sorry.
All right.
Oh, did you want me to fold yours?
That's all right.
So this is my piece of glass. You can get your own piece of glass.
Here, I can grab it.
And then we have the rock.
Have a circular one here.
Thank you.
Okay, so here. Okay, so here we have a brush. So this brush will go to garbage right after because of the resin. It's done. Yeah, you can.
Unless you immediately put it into another resin piece.
I was like,
So what we do, we just take this and very carefully apply it so it does not go anywhere around the area that you're working with. Make sure that everything is completely dry so it does not, the paint, if it's not dry, it would get in resin and so you'll have the pulp inside of it. just apply it right here. And if it's too much, it would go out too much. So we could just remove excess resin that we do not need. When we completely spread it out, we could just take it out with a brush, so we don't need that a lot. And it's simpler than just taking a smaller amount and trying to spread it all over.
Does this look good to you?
I would take some out, or you can leave it this way. I don't want to ruin the artwork too, because if you start spreading it, it can smear, so it's not something I would not recommend doing. And then we can, where is my glass now? Oh, here. And then very carefully we just put glass on top, and we could use the same paper towel to press on top so it evens up. And I do not want to use my hand just because resin is toxic, and it's like, I mean toxic, it's not recommended to touch because it can be very irritating for your skin.
It's not necessarily, some of them are toxic and some are not, but it's always worth being careful. But then the biggest thing is that it gets stuck to your hands, and it takes a really long time to come off. It's like, imagine having like Elmer's glue stuck to your hand that you literally cannot get off. It does not come off with water. I have had the misfortune of getting both hands entirely covered in resin before, and it was very unfun. So yeah, you don't want to do that.
Okay, so we can just put this piece, so I took care of it so the resin does not go on any other parts. So we could literally just accurately take it and leave it in some spot.
That's good.
Yeah, looks good. And then I just need to wipe the second one. So this was the glass, so I just need to wipe it.
This came out a little wonky, but it's still cute.
That is amazing. I love it. It's very eye-catching.
I like this one too. It looks like little eggs.
Oh, how cute.
Perfect. So I would be spreading resin on another necklace. So what I don't want, sure. And then you can resin it with a brush too, but also you can just take a glove and use the glove to just apply resin on top. Okay, so what I'm doing here.
I like resin. I would use it again. I would recommend.
It's fun to use, and there's so many different ways to use it, which is...
And it's a beautiful finish.
I would recommend to start with projects that are not as demanding, because what would be demanding for everyone is to make like thicker plates or something with clear resin, because if you add something inside, it does not look as you can. When it's hard to remove bubbles, you start using the propane tank, and then
That's
it
where gets dicey.
We did that in here. that was fun.
So not everyone likes the feel. I want to make sure that we do not have any of the resin around. Just because we're going to transport it, and don't want to get into it.
Like it made it pop more.
I love that. Yay.
Looks good.
Yes. Here, let's focus on that. Oh yeah, there we go.
don't know if you can see it. Oh, there you go.
So what happens if resin goes around, if we put too much? We can peel it, but some metals would be peeled off together with it when we clean it, so it's not like, I mean, if you can avoid it, avoid it. If you cannot, just clean it afterwards. So you shouldn't panic in any case, because it's here. So this is what I got.
Look how cute this rock is.
I love it.
So basically, if the glass had resin on it,
All these colors.
So cute.
So precious.
moved it.
Right? Little tiny sunny side up.
Just a second, I want to
Good
even
sunny
it
side.
up. There.
See that. Oh my goodness. Yes, that dream rock. It is what dreams are made of, seriously.
Thank you. I was so like, when it happens, when you put rocks in resin and then it falls and then you put it again and then the whole front is inside resin and it's stuck there, you're gonna dig it out. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then for weeks you cannot, the resin did not cure.
Yeah.
So you have to leave it there?
So I left it there and this whole bowl is just
Sometimes it just doesn't cure, and
just
that's
the whole area is like, do not enter this area. It's bad.
brutal.
And I have like part of the table covered with foil, part of the table is covered with something else. In the basement I have a table with like parchment paper.
I like drop cloth plastic.
That's smart.
Like the thick stuff. I'm like, yes.
Because my plastic is so thin and goes through, so I have to put something on top of that. Yeah. And I have plastic cover first and then this in the basement. And I even don't know if it makes sense because the tables are so ruined already. Right?
My table
Art
is
making.
wrecked. My mom gave me a table she got in an auction when she was my age.
Aww.
And it was 75 years old when she got it.
Oh,
So it's so old now, but holy crap, do I need to sand the top of that table. I've lived it with it.
That's amazing.
So what do we want to do when we have excess resin?
Put
What
it in a
rocks?
mold.
Think about it. We could resin rocks when they're done, but the resin cannot stand more than 30 minutes. So if we make some quickies, we could resin this, and then if it's in parchment paper, it's good. It would not stick to it.
Perfect.
Speed.
Rock painting.
So anyway, we would wrap up. We
Yeah.
could just show what we need, and then
Yeah.
Marisa was going to make more of herself, so we would post the results
Yeah.
right after, so I could
Put
just
yours
put her-
in there. Look how sweet Ollie's is.
So making so yeah, this one really pops well with the.
It's sharp. It's clean looking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So here's a final result.
I
And the
love-
love one came out so good. Like a teenage girl would love that.
I know. It reminds me of just.
Stuff I would buy at
Right?
like Ardeen or something.
I grew up in the States.
It'd
So
have
they
like a choker.
yeah, in the States, they have this place called the icing that just is the icing to me. Like, this is what it is.
Yeah, so we will post the
Alright.
results.
So this is my solution.